Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I want to see if I can try something different today to stop my fan from going berserk. Berserk. All right, wait. Let me see. How do I get there? I just don't know how to get there, though. All right, we won't do that. Need to figure that out ahead of time. And sometimes I just don't have the good idea until I'm live. Okay. Yes. There I am. All right. Yes, the fan is going, but I got my headset on, so it should be okay. Hi, Miss Julianne. Hey, I saw that there was I don't know how big it was, in San Francisco, there was an earthquake, and it looked like it was, like it could be felt a lot of different places. But they were saying that, how did it feel? Hi, Miss Presh. They were asking people how it felt because people were saying that it felt different. Not because of the size, but because it felt different. I don't know what that's about, but oh, crazy, crazy. So, Presh, I added you to the list too because I know you usually ask. I know you usually ask, so I just did. I just added you. Going back to the Wild Soul. The Wild Soul shirt. Yeah, there's lots of crazy stuff. Let's see if I can get there. I've been sharing it. The Schumann resonance, so they had a couple, where is it? I added like multiple things. Oh, they were talking about, it was yesterday, where the Schumann resonance, instead of having this big gap of white, it was like a blackout. And it's so interesting that, I mean, it's, of course it's going to be different every single time what it feels like. But I thought it was really interesting. The other thing that's happening is because of the Schumann and because of the solar flares, the auroras are coming down further south. And I know the other day, I can't remember, it was like halfway up the United States and across. That was about where it was, that anybody above could see them and anybody below could not. But it sounds like that's going even further south, that people will be able to see them. So, oh, I know, it was on, yes, I did. I'm one step ahead of you there, Ms. Presh, but thank you for popping that in there. Yeah, I'm curious how many people felt it. This is the guy that does the Schumann resonance. He says, thousands rushed to find out what just shook California. A sudden earthquake rattled parts of San Francisco Bay Area, catching many residents off guard. Reports quickly began coming in from people who felt the unexpected jolt. For many who felt it, they said this earthquake seemed different. So, I don't know. All right, so I wanted to find Diego. Read a little bit of Diego Berman. And these are all, I posted these on my personal page. But he's saying something new is beginning to stir, and the Gemini new moon is only a week away. So keep that in mind, because that's what is starting to get this ball rolling. It says, after the emotional clearing and heart-centered themes of the 6/6 numeric resonance portal, which was just yesterday, many people may now be sensing a different kind of energy beginning to emerge. The focus may no longer be entirely on what needs to be released. Instead, attention may gradually begin shifting toward what is ready to be created. And it's funny. Now, keep in mind, I don't typically read these ahead of time, so I hadn't read that. But today was the third spider in 2 days that I have found in the house. First one, I said, you have 2 minutes to go away. Otherwise, if I see you, I'm going to take you out. Well, he met his demise. Several hours later, there was another one. Another part of the room, but same room. And then this morning there was one in the bathtub before I got in the shower. And that one was bigger. I mean, not big or anything. Not as big as the orb weaver. Not as lovely as the orb weaver either. But this one in the tub, it's like, okay, 3 spiders in less than 3 days. All right. Creativity is like in my face. Oh my goodness. That is not fun. If it was, if it was an orb weaver, I would be fine with it. If it's, even those little, what do they call them? Jumping spiders, they're kind of funny. But I don't usually see the jumping spiders inside the house. I usually only see them outside. And yes, things are changing fast. I've heard this. I don't know if you guys have heard this or noticed it, but I have been hearing that time is speeding up. Yes, it always seems, they say, oh, as you're getting older, time speeds up. But they also said there's something that's actually happening to us through the ascension, through the energies that are coming in, through, where Mother Earth is in the alignment, all of it. Time is actually going faster. Like, wanted me to see it. Oh, so maybe, are you doing something creative? That's their message. Or, do a search metaphysical properties of spiders, but I know that's the number one that comes up is creativity. And the other thing that just crossed my mind is storytelling. Oh no, I just spilled water on my cards. Okay. There's still a little bit of water there. Get off. Come on. Okay, it's gone. But I think I still got water on my desk. All right. Enough with the dramatics. So I'm gonna pull the cards. Hi, Miss Val. How are you doing? All right, I'm adding you to the list, and then I'm gonna pull the cards for the week, or I'm gonna share the cards for the week because I already have them. And it was interesting because the angel cards, all 3 of them came out at the same time, different parts of the deck, but they all 3 came out, and I've never had that happen before. So, all right, so Desert Speaks card, and this is for the week of June 8 through 14 of 26. Message from beyond. All right, so this is us getting more in tune to our higher selves, to our souls, to our loved ones on the other side, to our angels, to our galactic family, and noticing and paying attention to the messages that we are getting. I also feel that there's a lot of animals that are coming through. I don't normally even mention animals, which is kind of surprising, but that's also coming through as a message from beyond. It's like Was it a pet from that's on the other side, or is it the animals that you're hearing outside? Look at all of the signs and messages that you are getting and just pay attention. And especially when you are asking things of the universe, I would like a sign on blah, blah, blah. So many times we ask the question and then we walk away. And it's like, well, I'm sending you all kinds of answers instead of stopping and listening. So once you ask the question, pay attention. So there's messages coming through. All right. First angel card. Now remember, all three of these angel cards came out at the same time. So the first one is feel the sun. And we do need to be outside to feel the sun. I'm going to do these much quicker because that's how they came out. Okay, so look at it's feeling. And feeling our presence. Well, doesn't that go along with message from beyond? Absolutely. So it's really getting in tune with how we are feeling. And we are with you. Oh, okay. So, wow. This look at all this. Message from beyond is pay attention to our feelings. And it's I feel like it's emotions as well as, well, can you notice, is there a brush on your skin? Is there something in your hair? I was last night sitting on the couch. I kept getting it's like there was something, and it's like, I don't think it was a spider falling on me, but it could have been. I did keep going like this to make sure there wasn't anything in there. But, so this is big. We are with you. Message from beyond. Somebody's trying to get messages to all of us. And it truly is, because as we go through all these evolutions, all this expansion, which expansion was last week's card, but as the Schumann resonance is blasting us, as we are getting the solar flashes, it's all of this that's helping us expand and getting more in tune with who we are. So, message from beyond. Love it. All right. I got to write that down so I don't forget. Message from beyond. All right, now I got to back up and see. I saw some comments. Been getting the death card for the past 7 years, and now I feel it's screaming at me from all different directions. Even if it's not a card, people talk about it to me, or it will come up in media. And it's interesting because I know everyone sees death differently. Everyone's got their own experiences, but keep in mind, death is about a transformation. Death is, and this is something that I don't know if you've ever heard this, but I think when I heard it, that's a really cool thought. Is keep in mind when somebody dies here in 3D land in Earth, they're born someplace else. And when there's a birth here, yes, I'm sure they're excited that there's a birth here, but it's also that soul is leaving to come here. So it may feel like a death on the other side. So think about that. But yes, death is all about rebirth. Death is things leaving, things or people leaving it's the evolution of when it's time to leave. Like in the fall, the leaves are falling off the tree, and it looks like the trees died, but they haven't. So there's so much in that. For the past 7 years, that's intense, Miss Presh. And Miss Val, I do have you on the list. As soon as you popped up, I added you to the list. Remembrance and rebirth. And I know sometimes, boy, it's like, oh my gosh, I've heard that over and over and over again. For some reason, you're still getting a message. For some reason, you're still getting a message. So, and it is hard when we think we've gone through and learned lessons on different things, and it's like, oh yeah, I've worked on the shadow on that, I've worked through those old trauma wounds, I've worked on this, I've worked on that, and it just keeps, it's like, why do I keep getting it? It's like, you know, who knows why you keep getting it, but for some reason, you're still getting it. All right. Shuffling for Miss Julianne. You are very welcome, Miss Val. All right. Yes, Miss Julianne. Shuffling for Miss Julianne. It's just been the Schumann is basically off the charts. I also, you know, the thing that we have to remember is to allow ourselves time to integrate after we've had these big massive shifts. Because it seems like we've been getting blasted and blasted and blasted, and there is no, like, hey, I need a timeout. There are small, it seems like there's smaller and smaller and smaller times, but hi, Miss Beth. I will absolutely add you to the list. But yes, we have to allow ourselves time to integrate. Could be cycles, absolutely, because you think about, you know, spiraling up, and it doesn't quite hit the same, but it's in the same vicinity, so it very well could be. They're not giving us timeouts. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it's, even if we have a tiny window, we need to take it. I know, sometimes it's like, oh. And sometimes it's just shut everything off and just feel what you feel, you know, just kind of like feel our presence, feel the sun. You know, pay attention to what you're feeling. All right, Julianne, come on. There it is. There it is. Ooh, enjoy life. You know, I think we all need to take, this is kind of like a time out. This is a place I used to go when I was down in Green Valley, and there was just this little, yeah, it was a fishing pond, but I would never eat the fish out of it. But it had a really nice trail, and it was always so relaxing because people were sitting, either they were fishing, or sometimes people were riding, sitting, napping. Some people were having lunch. It was just always very calm. And water is always really nice to walk by. But how many times are we just rushing around and we forget to enjoy things? You know, like you make a big meal and it's like, gone. It's like, wow, I didn't even think about what I was just eating. How good did it taste? And being, you know, grateful for the food that you just fixed, all of that. So sit back. Oh, I got to do this. Sit and enjoy life. And Julianne, I know you're rushing around a lot. And boy, I know sometimes it just feels like, oh, but I got to do this, but I got to do this, but I got to do this. But it's when you stop and enjoy life, that's also when the integration happens. That's also when the releasing of the old stuff happens, because it's like when you're, especially like if you're laughing, having a good time, think of all of the release that happens with that. So there you go, Miss Julianne, let me know. Hi, Miss Virginia. I will absolutely add you to the list, Miss Virginia. So I've been losing time. When I get up to pee around 3, 4, I also get a flash before this. Still having visitors. Oh, yeah. You are very welcome, Miss Julianne. I don't think I've ever lost time, but I do hear about that happening with people. Okay, so I'm shuffling for Miss Presh. I do hear people losing time. And to notice, in fact, I've been listening to a lot of stories lately. I have over the years anyway, but lately I've been listening to a lot more, and I'm getting excited for Disclosure Day to come out. Steven Spielberg, you gotta love Steven Spielberg movies. All right, Presh, here we go. Ooh, Miss Presh. It kind of makes sense. So, based on what you said, that you keep getting the death, okay, the death card. Transformation. It seems like transformation has come up for you a lot lately too. But look at this. I almost feel like that you need to amp up the clearing of your energy. And, a couple of things to do that may be something different than you've ever done. And everybody else that's in here, if you have a way that has worked for you for clear energy, add it in the comments. So maybe there's something that somebody else has never heard of. But think about this. Think about standing in the middle of the room and just jumping up and down, or banging on something, or wiggling, wiggling and shaking all around. That clears your energy. Imagine every time you walk through a door or a doorway. When you walk through a doorway, don't walk through any doors, but when you walk, well, maybe you can. When you walk through a doorway, that there's a filter clearing your energy. Imagine yourself walking through a waterfall. Imagine yourself walking under fairy dust. Imagine yourself, walking on the beach, and you can have the spray of the water coming up and the sand under your feet, the sun, just feeling, because sun is very cleansing also. So all of these different ways. But this is something I feel like it's amping it up, and maybe even doing multiple things, because it seems like there's, I feel like there's, okay, dandelion root. If you don't pull up the dandelion root all the way, the dandelion, if there's a little tip that's stuck, it's going to bring up another dandelion. It feels like there's something like that, and the more you clear your energy, it's going to help pull it up. So there you go, Miss Presh. Let me know. Time is flying so fast for me. So much to do. So much to do, so little time. And change that too. I used to rush around, honest to gosh. Oh my gosh, I had so many things. Oh my gosh. And finally, I changed, and I started saying, there's plenty of time to do everything that needs to get done, or something along those lines. And I would say that instead of, oh my gosh, I don't have time. Oh my gosh, I'm behind. Oh my gosh, whatever. It's shifted so much. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. I know, I love this deck too. I love this deck too. Using your arms and pushing energy down. Oh yeah, that's good. Then fluff up. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, who am I? I'm shuffling for Miss Val. Shuffling, so then I got Val, Beth, and Virginia. And Virginia, you are the last one on the list today. All right, Miss Val, here we go, Miss Val. Miss Val. See that? All right, I got to take a sip of water. Sip of water. Here we go. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking, it's like, won't that be interesting if she gets the card that looks like an ET ship? And this this is so funny because this has always looked like a UFO to me. And of course it's not. It's not in Sedona, but it is, where was this? It was down when I was living in Green Valley, so it was closer to Tucson. But they had the red rock that was just so cool, and this one just, it totally looks like a UFO to me. It crash landed. But grounding yourself, boy, don't we need that? Val says, yeah. But look this way to see if there's anything extra that you see. There's so many interesting things in this one. Some of the cards just have such interesting, oh my gosh, I'm seeing a fairy I've never seen before. So very, I know, it totally is funny. But this goes along with all of the energies that are coming in. We have to ground it. Because as we ground ourselves, as we integrate this energy that's coming in, as we are going through the expansion and integrating and grounding, it's helping solidify all of the energies, the shifting that is coming in, the shifting that is happening. Yep. Yeah. Laughing. Yep. I know, there's just so many things. But it really is about getting yourself comfortable with all of the energies that are coming in. And, look at it also, Val, especially if you are having times where you're missing time, really put it out there that, the message from beyond, that was the card for the week. We are with you. Really put that energy out there. Feel our presence. Can't make this stuff up. Put that out there, but also I feel like making sure that you have your protection, Archangel Michael and anybody else that you call on for protection, making sure that you have that going on, but also putting it out there that you remember, if you want to remember. There's so much in the center. This one, even this way, there's so much in the center that goes on. Some of the cards are just amazing with all of the stuff. So go back, make a note of what time it is, and when it's all done, go back and look where I turn the card sideways and do a screenshot if you want, and really study it later, because there's a lot of stuff. Some of the cards just have a lot more stuff in it. Oh, my pen is starting to die. All right, Miss Beth. Here we go, Miss Beth. I got Beth, and then I got Virginia. And anybody else, if somebody else comes along, you're going to get lumped in with Miss Virginia. I do. Good. Do you keep a journal of everything, too? I can't remember if you told me that before, but that's not a bad idea. All right, Beth, let's see what we got. See what we got. Here we go. Oh, so calming. So what it feels like is you are getting to a space, a place where you are actually able to feel more peace than you have in a long time. One of the things I've noticed, and I don't know if it's more so here, but I've noticed ever since moving to Arizona from Wisconsin, and I know my situation is very different as well, but I've slowed down a lot. And not from a standpoint where I'm slowing down. It's like, no, I'm not walking at such a rushed pace. I mean, I used to walk so fast, and people would say, would you slow down? And it's like, this is my normal pace. And I just don't do that anymore. I mean, when I go to the grocery store, yes, I'm on a purpose, but it's not like I'm racing through the store. When I go for a walk, it's not like I'm running a marathon. But it feels like, Miss Beth, that you have gotten to a point where you are allowing yourself to feel the peace. And yes, I know some of your situation, so there's a lot of shifts and changes, and you have more time to feel the peace. But I think that also, I'm going to go with the feel our presence. This goes along with the peace within, because the more we are allowing ourselves to feel the peace, the more we are also able to feel the presence of our loved ones, feel the presence of our angels, feel the presence of our galactic connection, feel the presence of pets that have passed, all of these things, little Benji running around, he was so sweet. So all of these things, and now it feels like you've just gotten to a space where you feel much more peace, much more at peace. So, amen. Yeah, it's really interesting. And, this goes for everybody too. Think about, so Virginia, I'm going to be shuffling for you in a sec here, but think about if you are getting a phone call from someone, or you're going to go meet someone, or you're, something that you're just kind of doing out of habit. And think about, do I really want to do that? Am I feeling like this is going to feed my soul today? Not that, so say that every single week you meet with somebody and you go out to lunch, or you go, meet for coffee. Okay, Virginia, I'm gonna start shuffling. And then all of a sudden this week, it's like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it today. So you call your friend and say, yeah, I can't make it today. Oh, are you sure? It's like, yeah, I'm really sure. And really stick with that if that's how you truly feel. Because it doesn't mean that next week you're not going to go and meet them for coffee or for lunch or, whatever. But just really pay attention. And I think that's some of what is going on with the energies. It's helping us get to a point where this feel our presence is feeling the presence of our own souls, of our higher selves, because we shut it down. All right, Virginia. Oh, good. I'm so very glad. I'm so very glad. All right, Miss Virginia. Miss Virginia. Miss Virginia. All right, come on, Miss Virginia. Oh, is that it? There it is. Thought it was another card, but no, this is the one that wanted to come out. All right, Miss Virginia. Okay, you guys saw me shuffle, and you know when it's the second person, especially right after, it's really pay attention. And what's funny is I felt like I needed to pick up a crystal. What kind of crystal? What is this? I think, moonstone. I think it's moonstone. It's kind of a weird looking stone, but I always like it. But I feel like everything that I said to Beth, Miss Virginia, you're going to need to go back if you weren't really listening, because it's like, oh, it's not my card. Really go back and listen, because I think all of that is for you as well. And I feel like even taking more time for yourself, it's almost like I see you sitting there with a cup of tea. And what that signifies to me is leisurely. So taking time, whether it's a glass of water or some iced tea or, whatever it is, taking time for you. Not having, earphones on, not having a computer in front of you, whether it's outside or inside, whatever. But it's really going in and feeling and knowing. So feeling our presence and knowing we are with you. And even going back, message from beyond. Because when you get yourself into that space and just notice your breathing, that's when there's a lot of information that's going to be coming in for you, if it hasn't already. Because it feels like there's a funnel of information, and I'm getting such chills. It feels like there's so much information that's either started or trying to get in, and it hasn't been able to because of rushing around. But take your time, take time to be with you and notice everything that's coming in. Feel the peace, but allow all of this other information to come in. This is what I've been doing the last several months, and I'm getting chills as I'm reading that. Yay. It's like funny you felt that. And something too, I do need to, look at that. I love that, Miss Virginia. What day is your birthday? My mom's birthday is in June too. But something I haven't said in a long time, but the lineup of people, I write your names down as it's as stuff is coming in, as you guys are coming in. Oh, there, I'll hold it. And just notice when people around you, when their cards are coming up, because yes, many times it's either the message or because you're in the list at the same time or next to each other. June 13th. Okay, my mom's is the 14th. Oh, look at we got June 12th. We got 12, 13, 14. Look at that. Bam, bam, bam. So this must be is this a birthstone for June? Moonstone, because I'm sure that's what this is. It's just kind of a weird looking thing, but I've always liked this stone. That's so cool. All right, I got to write that down. Virginia is June 13, and Val is June 12. Yep, and my mom is June 14. So, wow. I'll tell you. Yes, okay, there you go. Very cool. Very cool. So, big messages, I think, today, and also it is very cool. And I think it really is about, us finding, this is what our life truly is. Our life mission is finding out who we are. Finding out who we are. All right, you guys. If all goes as planned, tomorrow I am supposed to be on with Ruth, and I say if all goes as planned because I know she just got back from a big trip. I think either she got back yesterday or she gets back today, but I said, are you sure you're going to be? And she said, yep. So it's like, okay. So it'll be, I gotta look. It's the messages from your loved ones tomorrow. Yep, the 8th. and it is noon Arizona and 3 p.m. Eastern. So, bam. Happy birthday to all the June people. All right, so tomorrow I'll be on with Ruth, and then Thursday I will be back. Otherwise, I'll be back next Sunday. So, angel blessings to you, and what a day and what a week. So, have a fabulous day and a fabulous weekend. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me live.